What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Dead State. In today's episode, we actually are going to start this off a little bit sleepy with maybe some eye boogers and, whatever else comes along with our more dormant phases. It's time for us to go to bed, and that's just what we're going to do. So there it is. Welcome to the next episode. Alright, and so during the previous day, I will admit that I'm in a different recording session now, so it appears as though we still have one unhappy ally. It's still that one girl, isn't it? She's still unhappy no matter what you do. She wants sleeping pills and she wants like deodorant. Unfortunately, I found like zero deodorant this entire game. We're on episode almost like 30 and I have still seen zero deodorant in the entire game. And so I'm kind of wondering why so many characters want deodorant when it seems like it just doesn't exist inside of the game. It's a weird thing to have to contemplate, and it's one of those things that keeps like jumping out at me is just like everybody wants deodorant but there is none. I don't know. We got enough gas to make that okay. Antibiotics are still looking alright. Morale went up. That's better than it going down, I suppose. It didn't go up by a lot, but it still went up, which I assume means universally everybody's mood increased, so I'm okay with that. Let's find out what's going to happen here. I must ask you, please don't ask me to accompany you outside. The sight of the dead fills me with profound grief for friends lost, and being asked to hurt another human being, it goes against every moral fiber that I have. Well, it'd probably be better for both of us if you don't come along. Thank you. I've been unable to sleep. Just thinking about the time before we found this place, it still gets to me. I should ask for God to give me the strength to see me through this, and I shall pray for those like you who bear the burdens of traveling outside of our sanctuary. Alright. Q. Pardon, I have problem tell you. Okay. Says something in Spanish, understand. Please translate, Oscar. No, I can't translate that. Spanish to Melina. Oh boy, please ask somebody else. Oscar. I'll just spit it out, man. She's, bleeding, you know? Bleeding? She need a doctor? No, not like that. Woman bleeding. Come on, don't make me draw you a picture. I think I have a red crayon around here somewhere. Oh, this guy. Spanish to Melina. She's got really bad cramps. It's the thing that happens to her sometimes. She said it's difficult to work today. Well, tell her to take the day off, I guess. Okay, he tells Melina in Spanish. Thank you. Melina and Oscar walk off. So I've checked out the shelter, talked to people, and it's a pretty impressive feat. But we're going to need people and supplies, and there's a lot that could go wrong. I trained for this in the military. Would you like my advice? Absolutely. The more help, the better. I appreciate the confidence. Here's what I came up with after my inspection. You've already restored the well on the property, and that's great. Nothing restores morale like a cool drink of water. Now, I've dealt with the dead, and they're dangerous when people panic. Try not to put anyone in your squad who can't deal with them, but the real threat is going to be other groups. We need to avoid conflict as much as we can and only use it as a last resort. It can't be helped sometimes, unfortunately, so make sure your team has the proper gear before they go out. And we're going to need a lot more survivors, as many as we can find. The more we have, the more efficiently we can keep this place going and try to keep the group small, and we'll stretch ourselves too thin. Finally, these people are scared and shocked. They need strong leadership to set an example. When there's a crisis, I'll lend my support as long as you don't cross the line. I'll do whatever I can. It helps and gives me less time to think about the crash. Thanks, I could use all the support I can get. Good, I've seen well-meaning people commit some brutal acts in the name of safety. I'll let you know if I think you're going off the reservation. Speaking of going off, I should grab some chow before today's activities. I'll see you at roll call. Okay, and so Paul is actually going to be the guy who goes out with us. I think that if you were to turn down essentially a government issue trained machine for just warfare in your group, I feel like that would be a drastic misstep, and so I think Paul is going to be replacing Bud. Bud, he's earned his time off, so essentially we're going to say Bud at ease, and we're going to let the younger soldier take over because, well, Bud served the Commonwealth for a little bit, but he's a little bit older. He's better with range skill, though. Interestingly enough, Bud is a better shot than Paul, even though Paul's a ranger. It said that he was just like, well, I'm not going to say just like, it said he was a combat veteran, but that was some, 30 years ago, almost 40 years ago at this point. So you'd figure Paul would be a better shot considering he was just in the military, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alright, so let's find Paul on the list over here, and we'll throw some equipment up into his inventory. Paul. Where's Paul? There we go. He's casting a Paul over our inventory management screen. So he's got a bat. He's got a 9mm. Probably not going to use the 9mm. I would much rather have him with the lever action rifle because it is a gun that gets shit done. And so let's find Bud real fast. There he is. And with Bud, I'm just going to, let's go ahead and unequip him real fast. We're going to give him some gear so that he can help defend the reservation, as they're calling it at this point. However, I haven't had a huge chance to get everybody equipped, so Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to give him, yeah, we'll give him some basic stuff essentially. Just things to help him get his job done in case we have to guard this place. I don't even know if anything like that is eventually going to happen, but I figure I might as well like not take the chance, and we'll just hope that everything works out. So we'll give him some cleats right there. I'm going to give him a weapon. So what kind of weapon would I like him to have in case he gets himself into a scrap? Well, I would love a better filtering system, by the way. Being able to filter weapons by like guns and other stuff, I would really, really like that better. As it stands right now, I feel like we kind of just have to pan and scan through things to figure out what we want. Frankly, so ammunition. What do we have for ammunition? We have a lot of 38. So I think what I'll probably do, let's give him the other lever action, and we'll throw a little bit of 38 on him. Not like a ton, but enough to where he can do his job properly at the bare minimum. Let me see here. We'll give him like 28 rounds should do it. If he's just sitting at the house, like that's enough for him to reload 7 times, and I don't think he's gonna... Did they fix this? Somebody told me they fixed this in a patch now. So I'm going to check. Did they fix it? Oh, they did. They fixed it. Okay, so that's good. I'll probably recycle the remainder of these. That's one of the big reasons I wanted to get the recycler up and running, is because it allows us to get rid of a lot of this equipment. And you get parts for each pound of equipment that you recycle. And so like all of these useless axes and things in the background, perfect opportunity for us to get a ton of free parts. I'll give him a regular wooden bat. I need to go through and equip everybody just in case something goes really, really wrong. However, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Let's go ahead and get her unequipped as well. The pepper spray, I don't really use that often. It is a decent item if you remember to use it, but why does Renee Cass have such good gear right now? Like she has helmets and like combat boots and everything. I don't remember what I was leaning towards when I gave her all that. Renee Cass should probably have a med kit though, right? Let's see here. I know I have another one around here somewhere. Med kit, where are you? There it is. There's a med kit, just in case. Like, I don't know if there's going to be any battles where we get attacked at our base and we have to, like, hold the line. And so I figure I should probably start, like, actually, that'll work. That's good enough. Alright, so we've got all that right there. Everything's looking pretty swell right now. Let's go ahead and get Paul up and running. I probably should have done this inventory management off screen, but some people like to see it, so there you go. It's going to be for those people. Let me have, oh, probably 32 rounds for him. I doubt we'll be using that many bullets anytime soon, but it's something just in case. Actually, the shotgun's interesting too. I kind of like having a shotgunner on, but I guess I'll go for the rifle so that we can have longer range. That's always the issue with the shotgun in this game, is that it does not like to hit those longer ranges. After like 4 or 5 squares, it seems to fall off to like maybe a 50-50 shot, and I don't like that. Whereas the rifle stays at 100% all the way until you get way deep out. Let's give him a helmet. We'll give him a set of combat boots. We'll give him some riding leathers. And there it is. He's up to 35 pounds already. I don't know what his carrying weight is, but hopefully it's decent. I don't know what his stats are looking like. However, we're going to re-rotate people right now. We'll make sure that we got our new team up and ready to go. After we get back tonight, we'll do some of the conversations. I promise. There was a number of people that raised the concern that I haven't been talking to many people. And I understand. I'll try and get it done. I will try and get it done. Let's take Bud. We're going to drop him on out of the party. We're going to put him on jobs. I would just put him on guard duty for a second. Make sure, because he's got really good ranged abilities, so who better to have on guard duty? Doug Schultz, we got him working on... What if I have more people work on the recycler? Like, can I really, can I get this down? I would love to. Nathan Harris, you want to work on that recycler? There you go. Paul, you're going to be in the party, so we got Bud out of the way. I also find it amazingly coincidental that we found 4 horses when we're allowed to take 4 people out in our group. That's awesome. That's super, super awesome. So we only have 3 hours until the recycler's done, and I feel like it's kind of a waste if I feel like it's a bit of a waste if I go out and I waste an entire day of people just like sitting around not doing anything. So anyways, let's get people started. Who do we have with mechanical skill here? I need somebody. So Karen Landy has mechanical skill. Now that we have... Let's see here. We probably don't have a lot of parts left. Yeah, we're a little bit low on parts. But because we have the recycler... Let me see how we use that real quick. So transforms useless items into parts, can be accessed inside the storage room. See, I knew if I read the description it would tell me. This is going to be one of those episodes where we don't really accomplish much. I can tell already. I just looked at the timestamp. I'm like, man, we're like 12 minutes in and I've done nothing so far. Let's recycle some loot, I guess. So how do I recycle? Oh, it goes right there. Okay, that makes sense. So let's first go with weapons, because there's a lot of useless weapons around here. Essentially, I don't see the machetes being much use. Yes, and so now we got 1 part with 2 scraps remaining. We will go, that's 5 pounds worth of meat cleavers. Well, recycle them. There it is. We got 4 scraps remaining there. And essentially, I just need to work my way through. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to like get rid of as much of this as I can. And I'll come back once we've got some parts recycled. How's that sound? Alright, so I went through and I recycled a pretty good chunk of just about everything. We had like 20 of these. We had like 20 Glocks. So I recycled about half of those. And I left like 6 or 7 of them for each gun type. I got rid of just about like everything that we had multiples of. Like we had like 20 wrenches or like 13 pipe wrenches, so I got rid of most of those. And as of right now, it looks like we're doing a little bit better on parts. Obviously, I don't think the yield was quite what I thought it would be. At the same time, we're still... Well, we got 55 parts out of it, so it worked. It'll get us to the next part of the game where we can actually build something and then go out and scavenge. So I feel like it wasn't a total and complete waste. I think the recycler was worth the parts that we put in. And now we have added incentive to bring back as many things as possible with us from the field and not leave things behind, because ultimately at the end of the day we can just go out and like get rid of them. So fun stuff right there. We have a chef. We have Melina Sick. Nathan Harris. I think we wanted to start with... What was her name? I forget her name already. Karen. Karen has really good mechanical skills, so we'll start with her. What we need to make right now is it looks like we can make a garage, which will get us started towards building a car, I think. I think that might actually be a decent idea, aside from the fact that we don't have a ton of fuel. Other things around here that I'm not so sure about, we need survival skill 5. I think with survival skill 5, I mean, I really think that the rooftop garden's probably a good idea. The greenhouse is probably a good idea. The 50 food, like, once a week is pretty good because that nullifies, like, 1 day. The mushroom patch right there, all the way through with 70 food a week. That would almost save us 2 days worth of food a week, which means we don't have to bring quite as much back. However, I think we'll start with the... what looks the most useful? Well, I'm going to go with the garage, I guess. Let's start out with the garage. We've got horses and things like that, but I think if we get people started on the garage... I'd like to use the horses for a little bit because I do like horses. I think horses are cool. However, that being said, I do like cars too. So if we can keep ourselves motorized and moving around, I'd like our mobility to be at an optimum level. So it looks like it's going to take 3 days straight off the top to get this done. That's not too bad. And once Melina comes back, obviously it'll cut down a little bit further. Let's head on out into the big black sign. Well, it's not like a big black world, I guess. I mean, it's kind of dark and bleak, but I guess it's a little bit too sunny for me. Oh, I'm moonwalking again. Hooray! Trying to leave this place with style. Alright, so if I bring a horse with me, how does that affect anything? Oh, good, we get a little horse symbol. That's pretty cool. So we found a yard full of dandelions. We can go to the Wicked Lily. There's a couple of things over here. I suppose... if we test out our speed here... Oh, wow, the horse is super fast. Okay, so that's actually going to be amazing. Alright, well, let's just have a look around. We got something right there. Carmichael's Garage. We got wild potatoes right here. And I love them potatoes, so we're going to throw them in a sack. And so there it is. By the way, Sling Blade is super depressing. As I recall, Sling Blade was a depressing movie. I watched it because it was considered like one of those classic indie films that like started up the indie film movement, but it was depressing. It was a sad movie. I don't know. When it comes to mentally handicapped people, I'm a big softie because, like, I don't know. It's just like, I'll give you this example. When I was a kid, there was this mentally handicapped guy. He didn't have, like, Down syndrome. He was just, I don't know, maybe he was oxygen deprived or something, you know. A lot of the time what happens is, like, the umbilical cord or, like, I don't know, something will go wrong during the birthing process. And when that happens, it's fairly common to have mental retardation occur. And so, there was a guy at the movie theater when I was a kid, who he had a job. I mean, he could stand there and he could take tickets, he could look at the tickets, he could read, he could talk. Basically, he couldn't talk real well, and he could tell you what theater you needed to go to. But kids used to, like, mess with him and, like, make fun of him all the time and, like, sneak into the theaters by tricking him with bad tickets and stuff like that. And I don't know. There's just no excuse for that kind of shit. Like, it really does frustrate me. Like, he's trying to be productive right now, And when you take advantage of him like that, he's like, you're trying to get him fired, man. He's trying to be a productive member of society, even though he has like a massive handicap. People messing with him, trying to make him look bad, make him look stupid, make him lose his job. It sucks. I don't know. I just don't like it when people pick on people who have no defense. That sort of thing drives me crazy. Because I don't know. I think the people that perpetrate those sorts of things have never been in a position where they have no defense. And honestly, I kind of hope one day they will have some time when they feel defenseless and somebody just takes advantage of them so that they can know exactly what it feels like. And I don't mean that like out of meanness. I feel like sometimes people say that out of spite, but I mean it as just like a perceptional thing. Like, you can't understand someone else's position until you've been in it. See, I grew up really, really small. I was like 4'6" my first year of high school. I was really, really little, so I understand what it's like to be really, really small and have like people like 6'4" try and push you around, stuff like that. I mean, you get over it. You make up for it by being crazy as hell. But on the opposite end of that, I at least feel like I have some perspective with that because, yeah, I got bullied a lot when I was in junior high. I got my ass kicked daily. It sucked. And then, like, once high school came around, I said no more, and I just, like, handled my business and started working out and lifting weights and doing all that stuff and fixed the problem myself because I realized nobody was going to help me and nobody was going to fix it for me. So sometimes that's what you got to do. I don't know what's in here, but I'm a little bit, oh, no. Hey, what's up, man? You here to get your car fixed? Talk to Carmichael. You okay? Yeah. What are you doing here? I fixed the cars. How long you been here? I don't know. Don't you know what's happening outside? Mr. Carmichael says I'm not supposed to go outside till he comes back. Mr. Carmichael told me, tell you to come with me. Okay. That's it? I mean, follow me. Is there a working car here? There was one, but somebody picked it up. My brother usually gives me a ride, but he doesn't get here till quitting time. I see. Can I keep my outfit? It has my name on it already. He stared at his embroidered name tag. It reads Jodie. Yeah, sure, Jodie. Yeah, Jodie Hopkins. Don't tell me I have a girl's name. I don't like that. Alright, no problem. Follow me, Jodie. Alright, we found a new person. Hopefully this doesn't backfire on me later. I may regret this decision later. I don't relish the thought of lying to people to get them to join my society. But sometimes you gotta do it. We don't know how long Jodie's just been like sitting here waiting for something else to come along. Jodie may be on the edge of just like starving and, you know, dying of thirst. I can't wait to try out Paul. I am excited about Paul. He can hold 90 pounds too, so that's good. We got another guy who can haul a little bit better. I think he can hold, I think Bud was able to hold maybe like 80? I don't know. I wish we had a few more high strength characters. I'm still regretting the fact that we didn't get Max, but on the bonus side, I'm not that hurt about Max because we already have a melee character who's already on like his melee game right now, so I don't know. I may try to give, ooh, hello, Rogue Hiccup. Anyways, I may try to give Tweedletime a bigger sledgehammer or something. I don't know. I like him with the shield, though. Like, he's made such an amazing tank this entire game that I'm kind of worried about, like, swapping his role around. Just because what's worked thus far, why fix something that ain't broke, you know what I mean? So anyways, as I was saying before we went into the garage, yeah, I don't like when people pick on people who are, like, defenseless. It just, I don't know, it rubs me the wrong way. You know when you pet a cat backwards? That's exactly that feeling. I start to get a twinge in my eye. I start to get real angry. I don't know. It's just not okay. An isolated gas station. Now we're going to be hitting the map. This horse is quick. I'm surprised how fast the horses are once we get a car. I mean, I don't know how much more we have to feed the horses, though. That's the balance right here, is I'm not sure how many om-noms these horses are going to be, like, shoving into their mouth in between the off times, so that makes me a little bit nervous, too. We have Taco the Town. A Taco the Town? I mean, you had to build an entire fast food joint around an entire city around a fast food joint. Taco Town. Alright. I wish we could look through these windows right here and like see what's going on, because I'm really actually, most of the time I'm kind of worried about breaching buildings like this. I don't like kicking in doors and then having things rush at me before I can look in there. But in this case, I feel sort of like it can't be helped. We got 26 parts on this run. We're making up for the fact that we were missing a lot of parts, and I'm glad to see it, because honestly, after we got done with some of those other projects, the recycler took us a lot of stuff to get done. I see one zombie on our combat log. That's a decent way where you can figure out maybe where they're all at. Let's go ahead and pull everybody back right now in case something rushes this point. I'm sure somebody's going to come and investigate, and by somebody, I mean our little rotten friends. So where are they at? They got to be around here somewhere. There's no way they didn't hear like 80 decibels over here. It looks like this is basically the same floor plan and layout as the other fast food place that we hit. A little bit of the copy pasta, but that doesn't hurt my feelings. I realize this game is a large undertaking for a small indie developer. Let's grab that right there. I'd be copy and pasting like crazy too. I'm so full of shit when I say stuff like that. You have no idea. I used to program. I copied and pasted every function that I possibly could. I'd be like, well, this function, if I tweak this function a little bit, it'll basically do what I need it to do, and it'll keep me from having to write another like 1,000 lines of code. That's pretty sweet. So I'll just do that, and then I'll move this over here, and then I'll take this pointer and I'll go over here. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Hopefully the teacher doesn't look at it though. My teacher used to call me on that all the time too. Like, I had one of those teachers that has no problem calling you if she catches you, and that's, she'd be like, so this looks kind of like the same function. I thought I told you to rewrite this. And I'd be like, yeah, but I did. It's doing like a new thing right now. Oh my god, what just happened? Something crazy just happened. My game just said blah, 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 blah. That was weird. Did you guys see that lag right there for a second? I don't know what. Oh no. Break the door down. Break the door down. Your only job right now is, where is he? Paul? I don't suppose you want to swap positions with him right now and hit that door. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. Run! Oh, there's so many Zeds in that group. Run away. Oh, at least get to a place where we can pipeline them like through the door, like right here. But that was more Zeds than I've ever seen in my entire life in this game. I realized that I ruined the modifier right there, where I was like, I used a very, very long duration of time and then followed it with a very, very short duration of time. I don't even know what that was, but it lagged. That explains why the game lagged down to like 1 frame per second for a couple minutes. Oh my god, that was so bad. They're all glitching through each other. Ooh, we got like a football zombie. Wow, we got some original zombies in here. We got a guy with a bullet vest. All kinds of zombies going on. This might turn into like an episode-long fight with no real interest or challenge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it right here. And, well, yeah, I'm going to break it right here. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I will come back, and I guess I'll do this on camera. We'll see if we can deal with this horde. But, God, they get so many turns that I'm not sure that that's something I want to suffer through on camera. I may just try and disengage this combat. We could just, like, avoid them and, like, no longer be over here, because that sounds awesome. Cleaving through these guys seems like it's going to take a really, really long time. Yeah, I think we're going to disengage. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcastle for the next episode of Dead State. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. I apologize that this one wasn't super eventful, but I will see you in the following episode. Hi do, everybody.